Hi you guys, it's Amanda with Healthy House on the Block, and I'm here with our weekly video and tip on creating an indoor space that truly supports your health and your wellness. This week we are going to be covering the material silicone. So a lot of times we're going to find this in our kitchen. We might find it in baby toys or kid toys. And there's this looming question, is it safe? Is it really a toxin-free or low toxin material that is safe for our kids and safe for our use around food? And so we are going to go through silicone as a whole because the answer to this can be a bit subjective. There are also different types of silicone, and so not everything that we're comparing is going to be exactly the same. And I'm going to tell you that my opinions of silicone have actually changed over the last maybe 3 or 4 years as I have learned more about silicone and what this material is and how it can function in a healthy home.
So is silicone safe to use? This is actually a question I get all the time when we start talking about replacing kitchen items that are plastic or contain harmful toxins. The one thing about replacing kitchen products and kitchen items is that it completely defeats the purpose of making a switch if you don't make the right switch. This is exactly why I get so many questions asking if silicone is safe. My gut instinct was always yes. But once I had someone ask me that question, I realized that I didn't actually know why it is safer than plastic. And of course, because I want all the scientific research to back up a decision, I thought it would be best to start out on the right foot and research the topic thoroughly. So as always, I'm going to share with you my research and information so that you can also make an educated and informed decision on whether silicone is safe for your home. So if you've ever asked the same question, this video is the one for you. So we know that plastic is a material that we should be avoiding, but we don't know if silicone is a safe swap. And to be honest, there is still a lot of research that needs to be done on this topic. What I have come to determine is that it probably is safer than plastic, but it all depends on how the silicone is used, and it also depends on the quality of silicone. And we're going to talk about both of those things so you can make the best informed decision. So first, let's take a look at what is silicone? What is it made of? Silicone, not to be confused with silicon, is made of silica, which is a natural element. It's similar to sand consistency, and it's one of the most abundant elements in the Earth's crust. The silica is heated to a very, very high temperature, and it's combined with oxygen and other elements like carbon and hydrogen. Silicone is a type of rubber, and pure silicone can actually be recycled. However, this is only when you're using pure silicone, which is the best product to buy anyhow. This is a point that can't be forgotten when you're trying to determine, is silicone safe? So the most important thing to remember is that silicone is not completely inert. And what this means is that there actually is some leaching that will occur in the right circumstances. It has a lower toxicity and a higher heat resistance than plastic, which means the answer to the question that we're trying to get to the bottom to, is silicone safe, is yes. In most cases, silicone is safer than plastic. However, the application you're using the silicone in and the type of silicone you're using will play a huge part in the truth of this answer. So first off, it's important to understand what harm plastic can cause when it comes in contact with our food. So plastic contains plasticizers, phthalates, BPA, and BPS, all of which are very harmful to our bodies and our health. These components of plastic disrupt the endocrine system and stay in our bloodstream for very long periods of time. Plastic is more harmful when heated, scratched, and next to acidic food. These 3 circumstances allow plastic to leach into our food at a faster rate, affecting our bodies more severely. And while many of us in the US have toxins from plastic in our bodies, there is very little evidence that silicone is present in blood or urine samples on a widespread basis. And finally, plastic is an endocrine disruptor, and our liver does not detox it very quickly, which means it sticks around in our system for quite a while. So on the opposite side, let's take a look at silicone, because technically there are toxins in this product. There was a study done that showed there was an endocrine disruptor that was released into a mixture of water and alcohol after it was in contact with the silicone for 72 hours, but not before that. In the same circumstances, they repeated this test with breast milk. There was actually no leaching after 6 hours. So what this tells me is that it all depends on how the silicone is used and for how long. So when researching if it's safe, I found that while not all silicone products are manufactured the same, they are in fact generally safer than plastic. Silicone is made from that naturally occurring element within the earth in its purest form, and pure silicone has no known health effects at this time. However, it has not been widely tested, especially in comparison to plastic. So overall, you have to make sure you're finding a pure grade silicone, which we're going to talk about next, and you want to make sure that you're getting something that doesn't have any fillers. So here's what you need to know. Not all silicone is created the same. Some silicone is made very inexpensively, and therefore it has fillers and plastic polymers and other things that are added, and this can be leached into your food. So this is something we want to avoid. There's this theory that you can use a pinch test to check the integrity of a silicone product. However, this is not a foolproof way to prove it. Essentially, you pinch and stretch the silicone. It is not supposed to turn white, and if it does, it means that the silicone is not pure. Personally, I think pure silicone matters when it comes to food storage and long-term food contact, like dishes or for bottles or storage bags. I don't get as concerned when it's something like an oven mitt or a toy that your child is playing with. When you're wondering if silicone is safe for food, you want to look for medical grade silicone. This is going to be your best bet. Medical grade silicone is a type of silicone that does not contain any fillers or byproducts, making it safer to use with our food. The other option would be food grade silicone. This is like the second best, and it doesn't contain any phthalates, BPAs, BPS, or any sort of plastic. And then finally, platinum silicone is another type of silicone that it is safer than low-grade alternatives, but not the best. Platinum silicone is a type of silicone that uses the precious metal platinum. It's an ideal silicone for anything that you're not going to be using with food. So there's also good ways that you can use silicone to reduce toxin exposure in your home. So first, silicone is generally dishwasher safe. However, if you start to see white spots appear in your silicone, it should probably be hand washed only. I generally hand wash my silicone storage bags, which are a less dense silicone. Utensils that are a silicone that's much more dense can be washed pretty well in the dishwasher. So they say that most silicone can be heated to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. I think I would avoid getting silicone warmer than 300 degrees if I had to use it. And in fact, if you can prevent heating silicone at all, I think that is the safest plan here until there is more research done on this material. You also want to wash your utensils or your products by hand before they come in contact with food. In the studies that I shared, one of the factors that was present when toxins were released into food and beverages was that the silicone had not been washed. So make sure you wash your silicone products thoroughly before use of any kind. If your silicone items are getting scratched or they have white spots, it's probably time to start thinking about replacing them. So generally, if you hand wash them and follow the instructions that came with your product and you're not heating them, they will hold up in your kitchen really, really well. And then finally, because studies showed that toxins didn't start releasing into certain food products or beverages until after 72 hours, I think it's safe to say that short-term storage of food and beverages in silicone is going to be the best scenario. So I think that silicone is not necessarily the best option, but I will still give it a green light if it's used in the right application. So mind you, I know that some of the information you've probably read out there claims silicone should be avoided. But I truly believe that even the good options should be explored. Silicone is a great option for smaller budgets and smaller spaces. Not everyone can afford or store glass and stainless steel food storage in their kitchen, and that's okay. When used the right way, silicone is a great addition to a healthy home.
Thank you so much for being here. I hope you will subscribe to my channel because I am here every single week with healthy house tips and ideas to help you create an indoor space that truly